y'all, what's up? It's Lala from Girls Who Play WoW, and you're here for another AMA with the admins. You guys have been sending in your questions to me all week. I got quite a few of them from you guys. Really excited to answer these for you. So, yeah, let's dig right in. First question comes up is from Val, who's actually the admin and also the creator of Girls Who Play WoW. And her question was, why are you so awesome? I'm not. I really don't know why you would think I am. But thank you for thinking that I am. Next question up is from Garrett Brown. Garrett Brown is actually Ariel, one of my guildies. And his question was, why are you so mean to me? I can see where my questions are heading now. Garrett, I'm mean to you because you're awesome, just like me, I guess. And you're a buddy of mine. And I think it's awesome that you found me actually originally on the Girls Who Play WoW page, and then moved to my personal page, the Lala the Druid page. You started talking to me a little bit about, just looking for a new guild, and that turned into you actually applying to my guild, and you've been a great asset to us since. So, yeah, I'm mean to you because I like picking on you. Usually that's kind of my thing. If I don't pick on you, it means I probably don't know you well enough, or I'm not a big fan of yours. So, yeah. Next question up is from another admin. It's Baby. Baby wants to know, how did I meet my other half? My other half, as many of you guys know, is Camilla. I've been dating her now for, I know this is bad because I'm thinking about it, for a little over a year now. We met on WoW. She joined my guild right before Mist of Pandaria was released. And she was coming in. She was on her Resto Shaman Camilla. I was obviously on Lalinla, my Resto Druid. I was actually the heal lead of the guild. The guild we were in was called Driven of Cenarius. And we basically we were healing together. We just started talking. Initially, I just added her to Battle Tag just to kind of keep in tag. I like to do that. I usually have my heal team, or the team I'm in of healers. I usually have them on Battle Tag or Real ID, so that way we can always talk and get things straightened out if we need to. And she and I just started talking really late at night. Like usually after our raids, because our raids were pretty late. And yeah, we just eventually started realizing that we both liked each other. And at the time I was living in Canada, and she was living where we're at currently, which is we're in southern Georgia. And I decided that I wanted to be with her, and I decided to make the plunge. So I moved down here, and we've been together ever since. She's the love of my life. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but her and I are actually engaged. We're set to get married next year. I think it's going to be around September, October, I believe, closer to October. We haven't set a finalized date yet, just because of the fact that she actually just graduated with her master's degree in clinical psychology, and so her job could relocate us. So we're just trying to keep keep an open mind of where we're going to be going. So yeah, that's how I met my other half. I've been happy ever since. I mean, honestly, what better place to meet someone than the place that you spend a lot of time with? I mean, WoW does take up a lot of time usually for me, and it's good to have someone who definitely understands, playing a lot, and understands that it's a hobby and I enjoy it, but just understands that, it's something I like to do. I'll spend a lot of time doing, and the best part is I get to do it with her. It's not just that she understands it, I get to do it with her. We're both now, we took a time apart raiding with each other, just to do conflicts with guilds, and then her schedule, but we're now back together raiding in Celestial Rebirth on Emerald Dream. And yeah, it's been great, a lot of fun. Her and I have a lot of healing competitions. Right now she's beating me in most of them. But yeah, I'll take kills over beating her in healing. Anyways, next question. Next question will be from Maxwell Canavan. Who would win in a fight? Lady Sylvanas dual-wielding Thunder Fury, or Manaroth using only his fists? It's ironic that you chose Lady Sylvanas. Lady Sylvanas is actually my favorite faction leader. Yeah, I'd easily take Lady Sylvanas with the Thunder Furies over Manaroth. Manaroth to me is kind of a little bitch. Sorry, I'm going to say that, but he is. I've never been a big fan of his. I've read about him in the books. I've fought him in, and dungeons and stuff like that. And I think he's just kind of a pansy. And Lady Sylvanas is kind of a hardcore badass. And yeah, I have no complaints there. I don't even think she needs the Thunder Furies to defeat Manoroth. I think she could just do it with her bare hands or her bow. She's that awesome. And even if she did lose, the undead would just like nuke plague all over Manoroth. So yeah, that's not even a close consideration. Anyways, next question is from Joe Benjamin. Why do you play WoW, and what about it got you interested? I started playing a couple months before Black Temple was released in the game in Burning Crusade. So it was right before the 2.1 patch. Honestly, what got me interested in it is at the time I was working at Walmart, and a lot of my friends were pretty big nerds, and they all played World of Warcraft. And at the time I was vehemently against playing it. I was like, dude, I don't want to pay money for a game every single month. It's like I want to pay once and be done with it. And I just couldn't get into it. It just wasn't, it was not something I really wanted to try. And it wasn't, that's the funny thing. I was kind of judging a book by its cover or its price tag, I guess. But, I wasn't actually like, I'd never seen it played. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know anything really about it. I just didn't want to play a game I had to pay for every month. And I ended up, I had some friends of mine who worked in the electronics department, which is partly where I worked. I worked as a cashier and in electronics. And also a little bit of customer service while I was there. But I had some friends in the electronics department who were like, well, you know what, how about this? Play Diablo 2. And so I was like, okay, I'll play Diablo 2, no big deal. And, I started playing it, and I love Diablo 2. I mean, I was really, really impressed. I had a lot of fun playing it. So I decided to install WoW, and I was like, you know what, let's do this. And I booted the whole thing up, and I couldn't play it because my computer's memory was crap. I think at the time I had like 256 megabytes of RAM. It was horrendous. This is back in 2006. Yeah, 2006. Because I bought the game originally in December of 2005, and I couldn't play it. But luckily, I actually ended up selling my desktop computer to my mom for a birthday gift that she was giving to my brother, because my brother really needed a new computer. Mine, I had done a lot of upgrade and mods to it, just hadn't upgraded the RAM. Such a simple thing to upgrade to. I ended up selling her the computer and then using that money plus my income tax return and buying myself an Alienware laptop and got into the game, and became quite addicted to it. And I mean, like, literally, like, WoW addiction. I didn't do anything else. I would skip out on work to play WoW, to raid. It was bad. But eventually, I kind of cut back on it. I realized that it was actually affecting my life, and I started playing. I still play quite a bit, but I know the difference between being addicted to it and not being addicted to it. Like, it's just more of a, when you're addicted to WoW, there's nothing else in your life. Like, that's all you think about all day, every day. It's all you want to do. You will give up friends, work, love life. You will not shower sometimes for days just because you're playing so much. You will blow all of your money on pizza. I did that. I'm not joking with you guys. I ate pizza for 12 straight days. It was very spendy, but, I thought it was worth it at the time. But anyways, not enough about that depressing story about me being addicted to WoW, but obviously it's not like that now. Like, I have no quips about going to work. Well, I mean, I don't like going to work, but who does? I'm a server, guys. I work at Cheddar's Cafe. It's a great job. It really is, but sometimes living on tips can be really rough. So please always tip your waiter well. Almost all of us strive for 20% tips. A lot of us, that's how we make our bread and butter. So yes, I totally changed this question into, give me more money. Anyways, but yeah, it got me interested just because my friends played, and I really, really have enjoyed it. It's been a part of my life for a long time now. Obviously, I told you I started in 2006, and it is now 2013, going on 2014. I'm going on 8 years of playing, which is a lot of time. So yeah, moving on. Next question, from Stephanie Harding. And the question is, What is your favorite in-game mount? My favorite in-game mount is the mount I am desperately trying to save up for. I really, really like the Spectral Tiger mount, the Reigns of the Spectral Tiger mount. So yeah, if any of you guys want to give me a Christmas present, it's a Spectral Tiger mount, I will kiss your feet. I will level a tune to like level 20, 40, whatever I have to on your server if you're just going to hand me this mount. You know, I will do this. I love this mount. I've always been amazed by like how awesome it was, and it's just something I need to save up for. I've been trying. Unfortunately, I kind of spend gold a little bit freely, especially when I start having large amounts of it. You know, so I think right now on our server they're selling. I want the blue one, not the epic one. I want the normal one. I don't really give a crap too much about the wrist guards that they're wearing on the epic one. I mean, if someone gave me an epic one, I wouldn't complain. But I mean, I'd rather the blue one. And I think on my server that sells for about 400K, which I just don't have at the moment. So yeah, that is my favorite in-game mount, especially for ground mounts. If we're looking at flying mounts, I'm a big fan of Invincible, another mount I don't have. Now that I've become a moderator of Open Raid, I'm actually planning on, in the near future, doing a lot of weekly ICC heroic runs just so I can try to get that mount, because I really do actually like that mount. The other mount that I would say is kind of on par with Invincible for me is actually the Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent. It's the one that drops off of the Shaw of Pride. It looks a lot like, if any of you have the Heavenly, I can't even think of the term, the Amber one, the one that's from the island, the yellow one that's got the kind of glow around it, or the pink one, which is Crimson, I believe is what it's called, and that one's from the Glory of the Pandaria Raider, which I do have that one, and I love that mount a lot, but I would love to get the black version of it. I think those three mounts are just like my three favorite mounts, but I would take the Spectral Tiger over any other mount. And I'm like, to the point of like, I would ride only the Spectral Tiger on every single one of my tunes. Like, they would not ride anything else except for the Spectral Tiger. That's how much I love that mount. Next question is also from Stephanie. It is, what is your favorite raid in game, and the reason behind it being your favorite? Currently, my favorite raid is actually no longer in the game. It saddens me to no extent because they destroyed it, but my favorite raid is Zolaman. It was a 10-man raid in Burning Crusade. It was a lot of fun. It was challenging, to say the least. It was one of the first. It was the second 10-man raid that they had released after they released Karazhan. And after Karazhan, there was a bunch of 25-man raids. So this was like a brand new 10-man raid, and I love the feel of 10-man raiding. At the time, I was raiding with my Gnome Lock. That was my main back in BC. It was my very first ever tune. It was a Gnome Lock named Drainy. Which, going on a little side story, Drainy is actually named after a Pokemon. It's so sad. I used to have like a name. It wasn't Lala. My actual gamer name was Manze. Manze, umlaut E. And I called it Manze. And when I was trying to think of a tune to make when I first started playing the game, I asked my friend Bill, or Adele. He's the one who really got me into this game. And I miss you, Bill. He doesn't play anymore. I did see him log on. He logs on like sporadically, but he really just doesn't play. But anyways, I asked them what they needed, and they said with their group, because there was four people in the electronics department. There was my friend Jeremiah, or Maya, and he was a boomkin. We had Chris, who was a rogue. We had Brandon, who was Brandon was a rogue, Chris was a pally, and then Bill Adele was a priest. And so I asked him, what would you guys like me to be? I mean, what should I make? And he said, well, we need a mage or a warlock. And so I was like, okay. So I started looking through the classes and stuff like that, looking for it. And I ended up choosing warlock because it sounded a lot like necromancer, which was what I played in Diablo 2. It was my main. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to play this. But, you know, the only class I actually liked the way it looked was a gnome. Like, I didn't want to play a human. I've actually never leveled a human to max level, mostly because the fact that, as I was back then, it's like I am a human. You know, I'm playing a role-playing game. Sorry about that, but and sorry, my chair squeaks. But anyways, I didn't want to make a human because I'm like, I am a human. I'm playing a game. I don't want to be what I am. And after that, there really wasn't a lot of choices for warlocks, with BC for Alliance. So I chose to be a gnome, and I was like, gnomes, they're so tiny and everything. I can't give it my powerful, my gamer name. And so I started looking around my apartment at the time, and I came across my Pokemon game, and I was like thinking through Pokemon, and I came across Dratini, which is a little tiny dragon Pokemon, and I was like, well, I can't name it after a Pokemon, but I'll drop the T, and it'll be Drainy. Lo and behold, I didn't realize that most people would confuse my name as a misspelling of Draenei. Also, it kind of worked out because warlocks have a lot of drain spells. They had like drain soul, drain life, drain mana, at the time. So it looked like I was kind of going off the, oh, look, he's draining, he's draining I. Actually, my name was Drainy, and had nothing to do with any of that. But anyways, so I was playing a warlock. He asked me to play a warlock, I made the warlock, and but anyways, I was raiding with my warlock. I got called in. I love the fact that there was like quests for like if you could release different captives, you got like better quest rewards every time, or not just quest rewards, but like you got better rewards, like they dropped loot. I loved the way the loot was. I love the way that it was set up. Like you kind of had like the time scenario. Something I never actually got done, sadly. I never did get my bear mount. The fastest we got was we were halfway to the 4th boss. My guild was a very casual guild at the time. In fact, to the point where I got told that if I wanted to schedule these runs on the guild calendar, I had to be able to invite everyone or anyone that would signed up, and I had to invite them in. Like the way they did it was whoever signed up first got in. I couldn't do the pick and choose thing, which is what I was doing because I was trying to get the best group so we could go for the timed mount. But I enjoyed that one a lot, and when I switched to my hunter, I enjoyed it just as much. I finally did get a full clear actually after 3.0 was released, the pre 3.0 patch before the expansion, and I did get a full clear of it. And I thought it was a really well done raid, which made me really excited when they were making it into a 5-man heroic, and they ruined it. It wasn't nearly as good as it was in the 10-man. I know they aspired for it to be, but it never really lived up to expectations for me. The bosses are very similar, but I felt like in the 10-man there was just so much more to die from. Like in 10-man, the bird boss, the one that the birds come and attack you. Like that was why I was brought in the first place by my guild, was that they wanted me to use Seed of Corruption spam to try to help kill those birds faster. Just because they were so annoying to deal with during that fight. Or like with the bear boss, you actually had to have 2 tanks because they had to taunt back and forth because one of them got stunned, and that was something that wasn't in there. I mean, the charging mechanic, that was kind of interesting in the 5-man, but it wasn't amazing. The Dragon Hawk boss, I know those bombs like actually did wreak havoc on 5-mans, and that you could wipe your group easily, and also if you didn't handle the Dragon Hawks properly, or if your tank had too many of them, it could mess with your group. But in 10-man, you had to do that perfectly. Like, and you think, there's all those bombs around. You really, had to place yourself perfectly because there's 10 of you, in the same area size. The Lynx boss, same thing. And definitely with, I can't remember his name, the 5th boss in there, the one that like steals your abilities, that was much more difficult to handle in a 10-man because and it was better too because there were so many different options of what he could take from, and you weren't always the one getting siphoned. I felt like in the 5-man, certain classes got chosen multiple times, and it was kind of just annoying to deal with those. And then Dakara or whatever his name is versus Zul'jin. Zul'jin I just thought was more of an epic boss because of the fact that he was missing an eye and an arm and everything. But yeah, that whole instance it spoke to me, and I just really enjoyed playing it. And it's kind of one of those things where I agree with Blizzard when they tell people like, if you don't, I'm trying to think how I want to word this. Like when they say like, people want to go back to the way things were, and I'll admit I enjoyed the way BC was. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing BC. And I do feel like Wrath, not that I'm blaming Wrath at all, but I felt like Wrath did simplify matters a little bit more, and they've kind of simplified matters a lot since then. But I mean, it's still a fun game, but I do miss the way BC was and the challenges that it presented. But at the same time, with this Zul'Aman change, I realize now that when they bring stuff back and they try to like make it relevant again, it's not as fun as it was the first time. And I'm sure some vanilla players might say that about Naxxramas. I'm sure for them, people who actually fought in there or actually completed it when it was a level 60 raid, and then compared to the level 70 or 80 raid, probably thought it was kind of a little bit tuned down and a little bit lame, to be honest with you. And I think that's just kind of thing, is that you cherish the memories, not the actual event. And that was kind of what it was for me. I cherished the memories of Zolomon more than I actually did the actual raid itself. Anyways, that was a really, really long question. I kind of feel like Lore from Tank Spot. I'm like going on these long tangents and talking forever, so I'm going to move on. The next question is going to be from Nethany. I'm sorry, I probably said that wrong. Nethany S. Serrano. And it's, what's the sexiest feature a person can have? When I first saw this question, I kind of, I had a guy moment, and then I kind of had my normal moment, and I'm going to give you both answers. Guy moment, girl's butt. Oh my God. I am an ass man, like no other. I love girls' butts. It's the one thing I can actually look at without the girl knowing. And you don't get in trouble if you get caught staring at a girl's butt, but if you're staring at a girl's rack, yeah, not a good thing. But honestly, I really am a big sucker for eyes. I really love eyes. I think I have yet to see an ugly pair of eyes. I think everyone's eyes are unique, and they're pretty no matter what. I was a sucker for a long time for blue eyes, like myself, but I kind of grew out of that. I've been a big fan of like brown eyes lately, and just like how brown eyes really drink in light, and they just like kind of feel like you're getting kind of pulled towards them. I haven't seen a lot of green eyes, but there are some very, very pretty green eyes out there. And the only ones that I've ever seen that have actually creeped me out, like scared me, were blue eyes. I think can be really creepy on some people. And then gray. Mine are kind of turning into a blue-gray. My niece, ironically, her last name is Gray, and her eyes are pure gray. And her eyes creep me out. I mean, they're pretty, but they creep me out. It's just like whenever I look at her eyes, I'm just like, oh my God, you're scaring me. You're gonna steal my soul. Stuff like that. But yeah, eyes are definitely one of the sexiest features I think someone can have. And what I love about them is that pretty much you can't go wrong with them. There's no, it's not like other body parts or things where people can have a bad one. Like I've heard some people have horrible smiles, or, ugly feet if you're into feet, or hands, or abs. Some people just don't have those. I mean, some people are fat. I am fat, so I don't have abs. I mean, I do underneath all this, but, it's the one thing that you can have that just no one can say is bad, at least in my opinion. From the same question, going along with that, Nethany also asked, if you could date anyone that has ever lived, regardless of their current status, dead or alive, who would it be? I really don't know. I mean, honestly, I want to say just Wendy. Camilla, sorry, her name's Wendy. I really do love her. I really do feel like this girl was made for me. Like, I honestly do believe that there are more than, like, you could marry different people and be happy for the rest of your life. I really do think there's more than one person out there for you, but I do think there is one person out there that is perfect for you. Like and that's rare to find that. I mean, I'm not trying to judge you, but just how easy things are for me and her has just made things like amazing. But I know that's not kind of what you were looking for. You were kind of looking for like a famous celebrity or something like that. And the fact is that I'm such a big person on like getting to know people. Like I am truly like a sucker. I am into personalities. I'm big on, I don't rush into things. I'm not a lustful person where I'm just like, oh, well, she's hot, so I want to like date her. I'm not into that. But if I had to choose something like that, I don't know. I'd say Jenna Malone was an actress that I really had a big crush on. I recently saw her in a very different role. She was in the new and Catching Fire, the new Hunger Games movie. I was kind of surprised by that. That and Cassidy Pope. She used to be the lead singer of Hey Monday. She also won The Voice in season 3. I don't care for her new music style that she's gone for. But back when she was like in kind of like an emo pop punk band, which was Hey Monday, I really did, like I used to tell people I thought she was like the hottest woman alive. So, I mean, one of those two, Jenna Malone or Cassidy Pope, I'd probably say. I'd want to date once or just see what it was like. But, I mean, honestly, like I said in the beginning, Camille is really all I would take in the long run. Anyways, moving on. Next question. What achievement do you feel most proud of obtaining? I'm not sure if you were referring to a WoW achievement or a life achievement. I'll answer both, and I'll try to be a little bit quicker about this. WoW achievement, the one that I'm most proud of obtaining. I set out some goals this expansion. I've met most of them. One was I wanted to have 100,000 gold on one toon at any given time. Lala has achieved that. I also wanted to kill every single boss in current content at the during current tier, at least on normal, and I've done that. I have ahead of the curve on every single boss in this game. I do have some cutting edge as well, but I do have the ahead of the curve, which was something I really strive for. I also strive really hard to break originally 15,000 achievement points, which I broke. I then switched it to 18,000 achievement points. This tier, or this expansion, I've actually broken that one as well. I think I'm just shy of 18,100 at the moment. So right now, since there's still a lot of time left in the expansion, my goal is now to get to 20,000. But I mean, all those things, just the fact that I've been able to do all those this tier has been amazing. Also, another achievement I was really proud of was last expansion. I actually had one of every class at max level. I had one of everything at 85. I almost did it for both factions. I was really close. I decided not to, mostly because of the fact that I just felt like I'd be really pathetic if I did that. I kept on doing that. So yeah, as for life achievement, kind of personal information here, but when I was 23, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, stage 1B. I went through pretty much like 5 months of hell. I never doubted I would beat it. It was just, kind of sucked. I had surgery. I had stuff placed in me, like I had to have chemotherapy. I went through chemotherapy for about a month and a half. It was a very rigorous chemotherapy. I had what I would call during that month and a half, I had 2 weeks. They were distanced 4 weeks apart that I called hell weeks. And I basically spent 5 to 6 hours a day for 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, sitting in a chair having basically poison pumped into my body. That sucked. It hurt. It really was kind of a shitty part of life. But I'm better for it, and I'm much happier now. And I'm on 4 years of remission. I haven't been checked by a doctor recently, healthcare bullshit, but I'm fairly confident that next July I can say I'm 5 years in remission, cancer-free, which is what doctors tell you 5 years after you finish up your chemo or whatever. If it doesn't come back, you are actually officially cancer-free, and if you get cancer again, it's unrelated to the first one, and you just had really bad luck. So yeah, those are two of my achievements that I'm most proud of. Next up, same person. Anthony actually asked me quite a few questions, so I'm going to go answer one more of hers, and I'm going to switch to another person, and I'll come back. But Anthony asked me, what is my favorite all-time WoW moment? Which kind of goes hand in hand with the achievement thing, which is why I wasn't sure, like, which one were you talking about, life or WoW achievement. But my favorite WoW moment, it really just was, there isn't really like a favorite WoW moment in particular. It's just moments, just things that I miss. I miss leveling alts with my friends back in BC. I miss some of the guilds I was in. I was in a guild in Burning Curse. No, actually, it was Wrath of the Lich King. It was a guild on Oldemon. That was my original server I played on, was the Oldemon server, Alliance side. It was a guild called Sufferance. And Sufferance was some of the best times I had. I was only in the guild for I was in the guild for a while, but I went through my whole cancer thing during that time, and I found out like what a sense of family a guild can be. I was only in the guild for 2 months, and yet they like really opened up to me when I was diagnosed with cancer, and they treated me like family. I had people I hadn't even met or really talked to really, who were like offering to help, like send me money, open up like a PayPal for me. I never did take up any of them on that offer, but it was just, I had one person saying like, I just want to send you ice cream, ice cream makes everyone feel better. Ironically, I can't really eat ice cream since I've had chemo. I've grown a small sense of lactose intolerance, since then, which kind of sucks, because I love milk. Milk I can drink just fine. Ice cream just seems to be the one thing I really cannot handle ice cream too well. But anyways, my favorite moment was just really just them treating me the way they did and taking care of me, and then coming back from my cancer and just having everyone just kind of accept me as if I had never left. Like I was kind of like, it was like I never had left with them. And that was just really something I've tried to duplicate with other guilds. I found something similar with my old guild, the one I left to join Celestial Rebirth, which was Annihilus of Cenarius. But yeah, it was just, it was really touching, to have people like that. And that I would say is my favorite WoW moment. Moving on, I have Aja Leith, who says, how long have you been playing, and what does the time add up to be on your tunes when you do /played? Okay, I'm not actually in WoW at the moment, but I have done a /played, I think it was 2 days ago. And this is, mind you, with tunes that have been deleted, because I did this on an add-on that adds it all up for me, so I don't have to. But there have been a lot of tunes of alts that I've deleted, and I'm not just talking about like level 10s or something like that. I mean, I do have a bunch of those, but I mean, I've deleted level 20s, 30s, 40s. The highest I've deleted is a level 52, which was really, really hard on me because that's one of my BC characters. It was a gnome rogue named Weakest Link, that ironically got transferred to Quel'Tha Lost, one of those Latin America servers. Long story that I won't get into. But yeah, anyways, the total was 624 days. So we're talking about a little bit more than that. I'm kind of depressed, and I'm getting closer and closer to the 2-year mark. I think I'm about 100 days short. I was actually very distraught when I hit the 365, realizing I've sat at a computer desk or some chair of what kind, I don't know. I mean, I've played everywhere. I've played out in the freezing cold, plugged into the side of a house on my laptop. But the fact that I played for a year of my life, like a whole year of my life, is gone just to this game. Yeah, that was really hard to swallow. But I kept playing anyways, and now I'm coming up on the 2-year mark. That might be a little bit rough as well. But the fact is I love this game. It got me with my fiance. It's brought a lot of love in my life. It's brought a lot of enjoyment in my life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. One of the tattoos I do plan on eventually getting, I haven't got it yet. But yes, I do plan on getting, like, my whole right arm will be a sleeve. But I plan on getting on my upper forearm, a treant. Cause I am a resto druid. And I love the treant form. I was very saddened when they took it away from us. But, anyways, I plan on getting a treant, tattooed on my arm, and a lot of people are like, why would you get a WoW tattoo? Why would you do that? And to be honest with you, I'm about to have devoted, I'm getting closer and closer to devoting 2 years of my life completely to a game with people. And not that I'll ever forget it, but like the tattoo will kind of commemorate, like, I'm not embarrassed of this. It is what it is, and it's what I want to do, and it's what I love doing. So yeah, moving on. Next question is actually going to be back to Nethany. And I know Aja is probably like, oh, you're skipping out on my one question. Don't worry, I'll get to your question last. Aja will have the last question of the day. Anyways, Nethany's next question was, if you can make your own class, what abilities would it have, and what would it be called? I really don't know. I'd make a healer class. I'd love to have a class that's nothing but heals. We have pure DPS. I want a pure healing class, and kind of like make it different. Like make it like one spec is just really amazing for like, like raid healing, like doing like big direct heals. Then have another spec that's like all about hots, you know, and doing hot healings. And then the third one being like kind of like an absorb class, like Disc Priest. Just definitely not to the extent that Disc Priests are broken right now. I really do hate the fact of how broken Disc is. And they've been broken since 5.1, and Blizzard just seems to nerf them in PTR, and then right as they're about to go live, they're like, oh, hey, Disc is doing bad, let's give them a little buff. But they don't test that buff out, and it ends up breaking the class because it's really powerful. Like they did that with the level 90 talents for Disc, especially in 25-mans, Divine Star in 25-mans on a stack fight. Game over. You're really just not going to compete with them on that, unless they're just really under-geared or don't know how to play their class. You know, but yeah, that's kind of what I would do. As for what it would be called, I really don't have a name for it. I really don't know. I really couldn't think of a name for it because that's why I don't. You know, that's why I'm not a designer for WoW. I'm not, I guess, as creative as they are in terms of naming stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what I would do. I'd want a pure healing class. That was one thing I was really, really hoping for when Mop Mr. Pandaria came out. When they announced the monk, I'm like, please be a healer. Please be a healer. And it was a healer, and there was a healer in it. I've loved playing Mistweaver monks. In fact, I love monks altogether. As many of you know, I have 390 monks. So, but yeah, that I would definitely make a pure, like, healing class. But yeah, anyways, next question from Nethany as well is, we all have 1 to 2 people we love doing stuff with in game. Who are yours, and how did you meet them? No, I'm sorry, that's actually hard. I've already kind of just explained Camilla. That's one of the people that I love doing stuff with in game. Her and I level a lot of alts together. Yeah, I know all couples say, oh, we play together and we level our alts, but it's true, me and her do. It's very frustrating for me because I'm a much more rigorous, fast-paced leveler. I like to get things done. To me, the game really does start when you get to max level, so I'm one of those people that really just loves to burn through it. Not that she's slow or anything, it's just that she's not as pushy about leveling alts, and the problem is that some of the tunes I really, really want to play are tied to her tunes. Like, I'm really wanting to level up right now my Worgen Warlock. It's playing Destruction. I have a Demon Lock that's at level 80. Drainy, by the way, I have not touched at all. He is still level 80. I did not touch him at all in Kata. But I do have a 90 Undead Lock, Dark Cinder and Kargath. And he's Affliction, and I really do like playing it, but I want to kind of play Destruction. I'm also leveling up now, actually on the Girls Who Play WoW Hellscream Guild. I'm leveling up a lock named Chaotic Cinder, and it's a Demon Lock. But I just kind of wanted to play my Worgen Destruction Lock, and she's been very slow about playing her Prop Pally, who's going to be leveling up with me, Hylandra. Hylandra's actually in the Girls Who Play WoW Emerald Dream Guild. She joined it as a favor to me to kind of help the guild keep going. Unfortunately, the guild didn't really take off. Neither of the guilds I'm running, Whisperwind or Emerald Dream, really took off. Whisperwind, I'm still trying to get people. I'm still avidly recruiting. So please, if you guys want to play Alliance, especially with 5.4.2 and the heirloom changing, please come play with us on Whisperwind. There's really not, I mean, people log in, but it's just because we don't have a lot of people and everyone has their own times that they can play. We don't have a lot of people logged in at once. Like, a lot of times you'll end up playing by yourself, and that sucks. But if you can help me out by coming over and just bearing with it for a while, I promise you, as soon as I can get the people over, it'll eventually become a fuller guild, much like the Girls Who Play WoW Hellscream Horde Guild. So yeah, that's kind of me boosting for my guilds, trying to get you guys to come play with me. That sounded wrong. I don't want you to play with me. I want you guys to come hang out with me. There we go. Yeah. I'm not going to be dirty old man. Anyways, so yeah, Camilla is one of the people. The other 2 people are... it's my old guild leader / boss. As many of you know, I'm an Open Raid moderator. And my boss on Open Raid is Zillions, or Z. She's also my old guild leader in the Guild of Nihilus. And then it's another officer of the guild. I think he's an officer. I'm pretty sure he is. If not, he's a member. I know he's a raider, but his name's Cube of Cenarius. Both of them are two of my best buddies. I really, really love playing with them. We don't really do a lot in game, like leveling alts, though. I'm trying to convince Z to come level something with me. But I mean, it's just, I really love hanging out with them. I remember we spent a lot of time talking in Mumble, hanging out. In fact, Zillions and Cube are two of the people that I've invited them to my wedding. That's how close we are. I really want to spend time with them and meet them and just, get to do stuff with them. But yeah, we do more than just play WoW. Z and Cube and I, we play Cards Against Humanity online. We also play iSketch, which is like Pictionary, but it's online, it's free, and there's a WoW version of iSketch, which we have a lot of fun doing. I know they play other games. I've never actually gotten around to playing any other games with them, but I would if I ever had the games. But I really just enjoy spending time with them, and which is really funny because I didn't have a very high opinion of Cube when I first joined Annihilus, and that wasn't because of anything he did. It was just kind of my old guild's reputation. We had some people who were very negative. When I joined Driven, we were the number 3 guild on the server, behind Rathian Knights and Annihilus. And so our closest competition, Rathian Knights is just on a different level. They're kind of like the Blood Legion. They're a top 20 server guild, or top 20 world guild. I think they ended up being top 30 this tier, but they were top 11 last tier 15. But anyways, we always strive to kind of keep up with Annihilus. And Annihilus just always seemed to kind of be a little bit elusive, be ahead of us, and there was some bickering and mongering, but amongst some of the members of Driven and about Annihilus, and I kind of fell in line with that, which was kind of bad. I judged this whole guild of people. I'd never met any of them, solely based off of just rivalry that wasn't even there. Like, Annihilus never even considered us on their level. They're just like, not that they're cocky or anything. They're just like, they play the game to have fun. They don't care where they rank. They're just good. That's why they do as well as they do. But yeah, I ended up having a kind of a poor opinion of Cube, and it didn't work out too well. I ended up getting to meet him and talk with him a lot, and he's been one of the best buddies I've had. He's been a great person to talk to. It's kind of nice because Cube's he's also Canadian. And so every now and then I get to kind of joke around about, Canadian stuff because, like I said, I lived there for a year and a half. And, Cube he's fun. He's a lot of fun. It's different. He's funny in a very calm and just matter-of-fact way. And I love hanging out with him. And Z, don't get me started. Z's just amazing. Like, anyone who's ran with her in open raid knows how awesome Z is. She's so much fun, full of life, and she's always willing to help you out. And, I can't even imagine, just not hanging out with her. When I was in Annihilus, we had quite a few people who did actually had some issues with her. And it was very surprising because it's like, a lot of things they would accuse her of. It's like, that's not her. I think it was just a little bit of jealousy with Z. With them, but Z is amazing. She's been like one of my best friends. I haven't got to hang out with him as much since I left Annihilus and joined Celestial Rebirth. We still talk a lot, and we do hang out. In fact, it was a couple days ago. We're actually playing Cards Against Humanity with each other. But yeah, Zillions, Kamiya, and Cube. I really don't know if I'd still be playing WoW if it wasn't for those three. I just really, really do enjoy hanging out with them. As I said, I met Kamiya and Driven, Cube and Annihilus, Cube and Z and Annihilus, and it's just been fun with that. Anyways, so it is time for Estrella's question. Estrella the admin. Estrella's is, who is your favorite resto druid in the whole wide world? And you can't say you. But it's me! Sorry. Favorite resto druid. She doesn't really play a resto druid anymore. In fact, I don't think she really plays much at all. Some of you may or may not know her. I don't know. She got really popular for a while in WoW, and then kind of died down. But it was during Dragon Soul she got really, really big. Her name is Starless or Starlise, depending on how you know her. She used to be a big Twitch user. I think she had like 100,000 likes at one point. Like, she was just really big. She used to be in God, I can't remember the guild. I have a horrible time remembering guild names. She used to be in a really big 25-man guild with, and now I can't remember her name. It was the girl that used to do the WoW vids in on Tank Spot before Lore took over the site. Eliana. They were in the guild as Void. Wow, just all of that came back just by remembering Eliana's name. She was in a guild called Void. They were a pretty well progressed guild. And I just remember watching Eliana's vids and just being really impressed with how they rated, and so trying to better myself as a resto druid, I ended up going and kind of stalking Starless from afar, on her WoW profile, Armory. I checked to see what she was doing, how she was gemming, gearing, what gear she was using, stuff like that. And one day, I have Eliana on Facebook as a friend, and Eliana posted on her thing saying, "Hey, come watch my guildie stream." It was Starless. I think at the time she had 6 likes. She was just a brand new streamer. And I went over there, and most of the time I'd go talk to Twitch streamers. A lot of them didn't really talk to me. They kind of had this I'm better than thou, I don't talk to my fans thing. So it was really weird when I said hi, and she goes, "Hi, Lala AMA," and I'm like, holy cow, she's talking to me. I was giddy. It was weird. It was kind of so fanboyish. And I started talking to her, and I actually confided and told her hey, I've been kind of stalking you from afar. And her and I actually started really, really talking. I actually, for a while there, was a moderator for her Twitch channel, kind of helping keep it running. I kind of, took a step back from it when she started doing a lot of League of Legends. I'm not a huge fan of the game. And unfortunately, a lot of the people I like to watch stream, on Twitch, they started streaming League of Legends a lot, and I kind of got burned out on it, real fast watching people play it. But yeah, Starless, I would definitely say is one of my favorite resto druids, the one that I like the most. I wish she was still playing a resto druid. I know she's been playing a monk lately, kind of casually. She really kind of got burned out at the beginning of this tier. Not this tier, this expansion. She got really burned out with it playing and kind of cut back on her playing. But yeah, every now and then I still like to go, when I see her online, me and her will whisper each other a little bit and talk, and, just kind of catching up, stuff like that. But yeah, Starless is definitely one of my favorite resto druids in the whole wide world. So yeah. Anyways, I know this has been a really long video, and I love to talk. Val made a mistake letting me do an AMA. And the sad thing is I was trying to get you guys to ask me more questions. These 15 questions here or so, I forget how many there are exactly, have been on the page since day one. There was a question that was asked. It was later removed. I'll answer that real quick. I don't remember who posted it, but they asked if I was a mountain and what kind of animals would live at the peak. And I saw he deleted it. I thought it was a kind of a random question, but I'll answer it anyways. Bunnies. I love rabbits. I am a huge rabbit fan. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I love rabbits, and that leads me to realizing I actually am not on my last question yet. I still have 2 more. But yeah, I love rabbits. They're amazing. I've owned 2 of them. They're both Holland Lops. That's my favorite rabbit. If you don't know what a Holland Lops is, you can look it up. But they're the ones that have the floppy ears, not the ones that stick straight up, but the ones that kind of flop down on their ears. I had a gray one named Lola, and then I had a black one named Stretch. And which kind of funny because one of my favorite kids movies is Lilo and Stitch. In fact, actually, a lot of you've seen, I have a Stitch tattoo. And it was kind of funny because I realized my bunnies unintentionally were named Lola and Stretch, which is very similar. But anyways, I love bunnies. So yeah, bunnies, all the glory, even if that means I have to be a small mountain because, bunnies can't survive at cold temperatures high up in the air, that's fine with me. I just want bunnies everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I know I'm a big guy and I like these little cute cuddly things. Anyways, second to last question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip this one. Amanda Hayes asked me, do you battle pets? If so, what are your favorite pets to use? Yeah, I do. I've done the battle pet thing. I haven't in a long time. I really need to get back into it. Part of it is just I'm really sick and tired of leveling up pets, and I know there are like some really fast ways to do it. I'm not talking about like win trading or anything like that, but I'm talking about like just like, you know, like doing like the carrying a pet through pet battles and stuff like that. My favorite 3 that I've only leveled 3 to 25 so far, which is really sad, but that's more than some people. The 3 that I leveled were the Celestial Dragon that you get for, I think, getting 150 pets. I think that's where the achievement that you get that. It's the Celestial Dragon. I used a Wolpertinger. That's one of my favorite pets. I've always loved it. It's a bunny with wings and antlers. I mean, and sharp teeth. It's like the coolest bunny ever. You know, which is why when they actually released the Dark Moon Fair Rabbit, I was like, oh my god, it's another rabbit pet. I'm all over rabbit pets. You know, I think I have every single one in the game. And if I don't, I will have to hunt down the pet and find it. But yeah, the Dark Moon Rabbit just made me laugh because it's a bunny with bloody mouth, and I'm like, you know, evil bunnies, you know. And the third one I leveled up was a Cinderkin. You know, that was a gift from an old guildie of mine named Odds, who's one of my buddies that we kind of lost touch lately. But Odds bought it for me last Christmas as a Christmas gift, and it was very kind of her. And I've loved that pet ever since. As for like my favorite pets though, I mean, obviously I like those 3 a lot because I've leveled them. But I also, my favorite pet of all time is actually the weaponized mechanical companion. If most of you haven't noticed this, but my YouTube channel is kind of actually named after that. It's the de-weaponized bunny is what my YouTube channel's name is. And it's got a picture of the de-weaponized mechanical companion. I just like it's a robot bunny. I think it's really cool. You know, my goal was originally to have an all bunny team. Unfortunately, there's like all the bunnies are either normal or there's the mechanical one. That's it. I can't like have 3 different types of bunnies. Kind of makes me sad. I'm hoping that they sometime release like an undead bunny or, you know, something, you know, give me something. That's all I want. But, yeah, I really do like bunny pets. And like I said, I think I have all of them. I know I've got like all the hairs and brown furs ones. And like I do have the Wolpertinger, de-weaponized mechanical companion, the Dark Moon Fair Rabbit, all those. But yeah, definitely say those are my favorite. A small shout out though to KT, little KT or Landro's KT. I hate trains, so yeah, drop a train near me, I'm going to bust out that pet and destroy it. I hate those things, so that I do like KT for that reason. But yeah, I did do a little bit of battle petting. I've defeated all the trainers up to like all of them. Even the one that gives you like the gold at the very end is a reward. I have not defeated any of the like the elemental ones. Those ones I don't have the right comp for, and that's what I'm talking about. Is like when you get to the higher end of battle pets, it's not a matter of being like having just a really good team. It's a matter of having the right team, which is where it kind of differs from Pokemon. Because I felt like with Pokemon, like when I used to play Pokemon. I love Pokemon. If I had a Nintendo 3DS, I'd be playing the new ones. But I felt like you could win against like the Final Four and all those guys with really a decent combo of tunes, and you could out level. You know, you could even like as we call it, while out gearing a content, which would allow you to just beat them even no matter what. And you can't do that with battle pets. I guess that's a good thing. But I don't like the fact that like I can't play my 3 favorite pets against their 3 favorite pets because their 3 favorite pets are just going to destroy me. You know, that bugs me. But you know, I will get back into it because obviously I'm an achievement junkie, and there are a lot of achievements I still have yet to get with battle pets. So I will probably get into that get back into that probably closer to the end of the expansion when there's less to do in game and less for me to worry about, and maybe when I'm a little burned out on leveling alts. That's when I usually kind of get into those things. Like last expansion, when that happened, I started getting really big into archaeology and power leveled through all that, and got all the achievements, and I had like every single achievement you could get. And I found like I dug up every single thing you could find, except for the stuff in the Tolvir. That stuff is like impossible to find because it's just, you don't get rares all that often in over there. So I'm still missing like probably about 75% of those. But other than that, I had all the other rare stuff. The sword from trolls and the mask from dwarves and or orcs or whatever it was. But yeah, all that stuff. Anyways, but yeah, I do like battle pets, and I will get back into it. But yeah, moving on. Last question is from Aja Leith. I told you I was gonna do hers last, and it is: will you sing us a song in this vid, please? No, I can't sing. I really can't. That's why I was okay doing the lip syncing video, because I can't sing. I really can't. It's not even a matter of, oh, I just don't like to in front of people. I just sound bad. As Camilla, who at one point was a music major, she told me, she goes, you don't have a bad voice per se. She goes, you just don't know how to sing. Like, I don't know how to use my voice to maximize its potential. So I will not leave you guys with that.
Dog goes woof, cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. Cow goes moo, frog goes croak, and the elephant goes toot. Ducks and quack, and fish go blow, and the seal goes ow, ow, ow. But there's one sound that no one knows. What does the fox say? What the fuck say? What the fuck say? Hacky, 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 mo. Hacky, 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 mo. Hacky, 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 mo. What the fuck say? What the fuck say? Big blue eyes, pointy nose, chasing mice and digging holes. Tiny paws up the hill. Suddenly you're standing still. Your fur is red, so beautiful, like an angel in disguise. But if you meet a friendly horse, will you communicate by more? How will you speak to that horse? What does the fox say? What the fox say? What the fuck say? What the fuck say? What does the fuck
anyways, if you guys have any more questions for me, go ahead and leave them when I post this video up for you guys. I'll try to answer them the best I can typing. I probably type less than I talk, so that might be a good thing for some of you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I believe Val might be the next one, but I'm not sure. We'll see who the next AMA will be. You know, and this is gonna be posted on, I think, on my personal YouTube channel. But as soon as we get the Girls Who Play WoW one back up, I'll get it transferred over there for you guys' viewing. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you did stick through this whole thing, I think I've been probably talking for about an hour now, which is like my throat is like drying out. I need to go get something to drink. I should have had been lore and have some tea or water or beer to drink while I'm talking to you guys, but I didn't think that far ahead. Anyways, thank you guys for being a part of being awesome fans. I think we're at 12,000 plus fans now. You guys have been awesome. You guys have really treated me well, even though I have a very girl name. I know Lala is very girly, and there is a story behind that. Won't get into it, but yeah, I really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been awesome, and just be nice to each other. That's one thing I'm gonna leave this with. You guys tend to get really, really mean and negative towards each other, and Lala don't like bringing out his band hammer. So please just be nice to each other. Keep being awesome, keep liking my videos and watching them for me, because that's, you guys are the reason why I do this. You're the reason why I'm the admin for this page, why I'm an open raid moderator for doing raid leads, and why I post my kill vids for people. It's for you guys. It's for the fans. It's for people who genuinely care and like to watch my videos and talk to me about them, ask me questions. That's why I do all this. So please keep doing that. I love you guys, and have a good day.